It's been 20 years. 20 years ago, you and I sat down, and you were in a brand new band, and you had this album called 16 Stone, and I was just thinking about how much life has changed for you as an artist in those last 20 years. It's back then we were selling pieces of plastic. Now it's an awful lot different, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Bush is a band that has bridged this gap from the time that everybody was selling records to the Napster era, to the YouTube era, to whatever it is now. What was it like from your point of view looking at this transition?
Well, I think that it's an incredible privilege to still be sat here, by the way. Nice to see you again. And the fact that we managed to work our way through the vicissitudes of time and how things have worked. But my mindset is always not worrying about the past and trying to, in order to stay upstream, whatever, you got to keep paddling and doing it. So I fully embrace the way that that music is now, and I have my Spotify Premium. I find it real easy to get records. Certain pet records I still buy. I still buy from Beatport for the dance stuff because it's harder to find on Spotify. I still buy certain people, bands that I love because I know that every bit helps. And I think there's something beautiful about making a record because you want to make a record. Whereas before it was imbued, it was like weighed down by expectation, by comparative sales, by other acts going on. And now there's something pure and beautiful about the fact that we accept that none of us are going to sell records. Obviously, it's a people look at YouTube views, Pandora plays, whatever it is, all these different services. But in a way, I feel good about the fact that I worked really hard on Man on the Run, this record that we have now, and it's an incredibly magical thing to make something for the sake of making it.
So you don't have a conventional record deal anymore?
Correct.
And who financed this? How did you finance this?
The actual bulk of it, I invested in myself. I just was I was fortunate enough to come up through a time, as you mentioned, that we would sell 50,000 copies of a record a week for 2 years straight. So I made a couple of dollars, and I believed in the band and what we were doing.
Why would you take a metal producer?
Because I'm soft enough.
Okay.
I've got enough of that sort of, there's too much love of other styles of music, so I always thought that he would keep the energy up and the bar up there. But I also don't know, it's always a bit of a voyage of discovery when you meet someone to work with in the studio. And I like the fact that he came from an engineering background, so he would know, so I could learn from him how to mic things, how to make things sound great, and he did not disappoint.
Let's talk about the pledge music thing. Some people may find it a little bit odd that a band that has had such a track record has gone the patron route. But it's not about financing the album, it's about enhancing the fan experience, right?
Yeah, and also the world is so fragmented that what you're trying to do is just tap into all the different areas so people know that it's out there. I think that it's amazing, and the pledge music thing is just another way, a smart way of just involving people. The main thing, my only job and my only concern is to pour over that record and make it the best that I can, so that if, God forbid, somebody takes the time to listen through the whole thing on speakers with somebody else, they can enjoy it together. You know what I mean? It's that simple.